Hi there guys, so a good one today, the Dreaded Ambull, which is something I've been looking forward to for quite some time. So thank you very much to one of my subscribers who donated me some money to buy this. They've asked me not to give them a shout out, so I won't say their name, but thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. This is something I was looking forward to buying anyway, but thank you so much for your support, that person. So, as per my typical videos, we're going to have a brief look at the contents, and then I'm going to make up the models, and then we'll have a really deep dive on the rest of the content, which is what my subscriber specifically asked for. So, let's have a look at what we've got in the box. Just before we do that, let's have a look on the back. So what have we got in here? Amongst the roving squads of heretical warriors, the packs of snarling predators and the eldritch defence systems within the Blackstone Fortress, a new threat has been sighted. A monstrous beast lurks within the darkness, one feared throughout the Imperium and beyond. It is an apex predator, a being utterly incapable of reason or mercy, the Dreaded Ambull. So what have we got? We get 3 miniatures, which is obviously our Ambull, and our 2 boarworm infestations. Yeah, 16-page Dreaded Ambull booklet, Lair of the Beast sheet, assembly guide, punch board, discovery cards, exploration cards, encounter cards, hostile reference cards, and 1 Lair of the Beast envelope, which I won't be opening today. That's the one thing I won't be looking at. Right, so what have we got? These are our punch boards. I'll have a look at that in a second. We've got 1 sprue, which I'm not going to bore you with now. But what I will say is I was expecting the Ambull to be bigger than that. But I suppose, yeah, he's got to fit on the board. Or sorry, his base has got to fit on one of the hexes. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. 3 bases and a little packet of stuff in an envelope. So let's start with what we've got here. A discovery deck there. The behaviour table for the different dice rolls. We've got the same for the boarworm infestation. So sorry, we've got 2 for the Ambull. 1 standard and 1 for enraged. We'll go through the difference in a minute. We've got exploration cards. This is good. We've got encounter cards. This envelope, which we won't be opening. What I'll do is later on when I've played through all the Ambull stuff, I will go back to do a video for this if anyone's interested. So let's have a look at our punch boards. So this isn't just the punch boards, actually, it's got the Ambull booklet in here as well. And some other stuff, it looks like. Right, so what's your punch board last, I think. Okay, so we've got our Ambull booklet, introduction, information on the components, the Ambull and its offspring, general stuff about Ambulls, the quest, more about the quest, after the quest, the beast within, whatever that means, and then a bit about the Set 7 biocontainment facility, which is there. So we'll have a look at all of that when we've been through the rest. Okay, so there's that. The Lair of the Beast, which is a 4-page thing. I don't know if this is a scenario or just general stuff about playing with the Ambull. Lair of the Beast event table. Okay, we'll go through that. This looks like a kind of purpose-built scenario for the game, but we'll find out. Right, our assembly guide. which is straightforward. Our ball worms are 2 pieces each, and our ambull is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 pieces, I believe. So all pretty straightforward, as most of these easy fit models are nowadays. So that's good. Painting guide, that's nice. I shall need that. And then it's got our 40k stats. So Ambull's got 7 wounds, which is the same as this fella from Conquest last week, the Redemptor Dreadnought. Okay, in fact, I'll do a size comparison when we've made them up. Okay, so there's that. So we've got some sort of Ambull token, whatever that is. These look like maybe a nest token. There's 2 of those. Maybe that's where our ball worms manifest themselves. Another 5 tokens there, which I don't know anything about. 4 tokens that look like they might be eggs or something like that. We have got 5 tokens which have got an Ambull's footprint on them. And then we've got our set 7 location. Okay, right. Again, we're going to go through all of this stuff afterwards. So, I'll shut up for a minute and make our Ambull. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. So that's right, our Ambull is a total of 6 pieces. 7. 8. 9. 10. Cool. So I shall make up the smaller dudes first. The ballworm infestations. Okay, now our Ambull. Right, so that's our Ambull made up. So, what do we learn from building this? Okay, first thing is, you can see there's some kind of like little larva, or I don't know if they're a parasite or whatever they are, but they're hanging off here. Now, as is usual with easy fit models, is they do require some fairly forceful pressing together to make everything fit. If you can just see the arm there, I've got that as close as I can, but it may require some green stuff or something like that to do it. Anyway, so, but these little fellas here, I think I'm going to have to break that off and then re-glue it, because I've squeezed it and it's made it very weak. As I've done the same with this horn, you see where it's gone white there, where the where there's been some pressure applied to it, which creates some weakness. So so a little bit of work there to be done. The other important thing to do is in the assembly, it tells you to fix this forearm on and then do the thing after. It doesn't work that way. You have to put the hand on first and then the forearm, because if you do, there's like a little socket in there, and basically you cannot get the hand on afterwards, no matter how you have to remove this forearm afterwards, which is again more mucking about. And because you're trying to pull these apart, you're potentially putting stress in other places. So I'm pretty sure that when I was trying to get that off, that's when I caused the weakness on this horn here. Anyway, the model itself is really very good. I do like it a lot. Now, for size comparison, so most of my 40k viewers will be something to do with Warhammer Conquest. So let's base it on size against the Redemptor Dreadnought. It's absolutely tiny. Well, not tiny in comparison, but this guy is probably the size of one of the larger Terminators. So think of Lord Felthius. He's maybe a little bit bigger than Lord Felthius. So, but anyway, I think he's a smashing model. Very good. Not a lot of detail on the back, but it will look good nonetheless. So I like it. I like it a lot. So let's have a look at our bollworm infestations. Look at the smaller one first. So not much to them, but there's plenty of detail. I think we can get a decent paint job on those. So you've got the bollworm infestation, and you got this, what look like quite slightly larger larvas. And so obviously some standard size ones on there. So that's pretty cool. This is the larger one. It's the same principle. So he's just got one of the larger larvae on there, and he's on a rock. But there you go. So that's the miniature. So that's pretty cool. So now let's have a deeper look through everything. So the assembly guide, I don't need to show you any more than that, other than the paints. So that's cool. Don't need to see that. Let's start with the core book. Right. So, with every expedition, the explorers who set out from Precipice unlock more of the Blackstone Fortress's secrets. Countless riches await those who can find them, and countless dangers also. Amongst the roving squads of heretical warriors, the prowling packs of snarling predators, and the eldritch defence systems of the fortress itself, a new threat has been sighted. A monstrous beast lurks in the darkness, one that is feared throughout the Imperium and beyond. It is an apex predator, a being utterly incapable of reason or mercy, a dreaded ambull. Wherever they are encountered, ambulls sow rampant destruction. They tear their way through rock, metal and intervening bodies with equal ease, leaving vast tunnel networks and long trails of corpses in their wake. The twisting confines of the Blackstone Fortress provide the perfect hunting ground for such a creature. Within the perpetual gloom, the ambull senses all, burrowing its way through the shifting chambers as it closes in on its next victim. It falls to the brave and brash souls who journey into the Blackstone Fortress to find a way to stem the devastation. The explorers must steel themselves for a challenge unlike what they have yet faced, and must work together to find the beast's lair in the heart of the labyrinth. The ambulls are a deadly foe, hardy enough to survive the harshest environments and able to traverse the Blackstone Fortress at will. In this expansion, the explorers will be tasked with finding the terrifying creature's lair in order to steal valuable ambull eggs. As well as overcoming the many defences of the Blackstone Fortress, the explorers must brave the attentions of the beast itself. The Dreaded Ambull is an expansion for Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress that adds a new quest to be undertaken by groups of explorers who are brave enough to seek out the lair of its most dangerous creature. Tasked by our rogue Adeptus Mechanicus Gene-Saw to locate and secure several priceless ambull eggs for its research, the explorers will be pushed to the limits of their endurance. To complete the quest, the explorers must return to Precipice with 3 of these eggs in their possession, though the ambull will not let these go lightly. Although the explorers may encounter the ambull during the course of their searching, the beast will be at its most deadly when cornered in its lair. The explorers will need to track down the ambull, collecting evidence that will allow them to locate its lair before venturing into the dangerous environment to claim their prize. The Dreaded Ambull expansion includes a new series of expeditions for your explorers to undertake as they search for the location of the ambull's nesting site, followed by an expedition into the lair of the beast itself. You'll find complete rules for this using using the ambull and its bullworm offspring in this expansion, as well as for including these new miniatures in your other games of Blackstone Fortress. The quest for the ambull's lair is a new quest, which you can choose to play instead of starting a different quest. We recommend completing the quest for the hidden vault before starting the quest for the ambull's lair. It will give you a good knowledge of the game and the narrative running through it before starting this new quest. Okay, blimey. Right, okay. So let's go through what we've got. So we've seen our ambull and the bullworm infestations. The booklets, we've got this one. We've seen the assembly guide. We've got the layer of the beast sheet. Boards and tiles 1, double-sided set 7 biocontainment facility, which is here. 2 double-sided location tiles, which I believe are these ones. We've got 1 ambull location marker, which I'm assuming is this. We've got 2 ambull trail counters. Let's see, which I'm going to assume are these. Have a closer look quickly. Yeah, I assume that's those. 4 ambull egg counters. That's these square ones here, same on both sides. 5 ambull spur encounters, which are these ones with the ambull's footprint on them. 3 double-sided booby trap markers. So that's good. Okay, and then we've got 18 discovery cards, 10 exploration cards, 3 encounter cards, and 1 layer of the beast envelope. Okay, so let's have what we've got next. So the set 7 biocontainment facility. That's the cards. So there's 1 for completed and 1 for under construction. That's the completed one. That's the under construction. So the set 7 biocontainment facility is placed next to the precipice board as shown below. So this isn't in replacement of one of our other locations, it's in addition. So it's an additional option. These are the Dreaded Ambull expansion icons. You can see they're different colours because one relates to standard and one relates to engaged. Ambull and its offspring. Amongst people of action, there are few who have not heard of the Ambull, but there are fewer still who have encountered one of these beasts and lived to tell the tale. That was a quote from Janice Drake, one of our intrepid characters from the game. Okay, so now we've got a load of text here about the Ambulls. I'm just going to have a quick look through this and tell you what I think is interesting. Okay, so it's biologically adapted to be the apex predator of any subterranean environment. Capable of surviving inside the Blackstone Fortress, but thriving within its labyrinthine halls. They make their lairs in subterranean cave networks, which they create by themselves by using their taloned forelimbs and vicious mandibles to carve through densely packed bedrock. They aggressively defend their territories from intruders, using the same natural adaptations that make them master tunnelers to eviscerate anything that strays too close. With a single swipe, an ambull can bisect a space marine. The ultra-hardened edge of its claw cleaving through flesh, bone and power armour with terrifying ease, leaving only a mangled body to be devoured. Even vehicle armour Even vehicle armour offers little defence. Many Goliath rock grinders have inadvertently drilled down into an ambull cave only to be found months later. Their holes ripped open and the remains of their dismembered crew strewn inside. Despite their propensity to attack other creatures, ambulls do not feed solely on flesh. There are numerous accounts of ambulls gorging themselves on thermal and radioactive energy, boring their way through a planet's crust in search of new sources. Their vision also appears to be based on energy spectra, for they are able to sense ravaging lava flows and nodes of exotic elements from miles away through solid rock. They are therefore often drawn to artificial sources of power on imperial worlds. And on more than one occasion, the ambulls have burrowed up into a reaction chamber of a plasma generator and triggered a catastrophic meltdown. The ambulls' physiology makes them uniquely capable of surviving intense outpourings of energy with tough chitinous plates covering much of their body. Any damaged flesh is also quickly ingested by rad maggots. So those are rad maggots, those things. So these disgusting bad boys here, rad maggots. Any damaged flesh is also quickly ingested by rad maggot symbiotic creatures whose hyperstimulant saliva allows the ambul's flesh to re-knit in a matter of moments. The ambul's larvae are simply difficult to kill. Known as boreworms, these ravenous grubs are spawned from nesting sacs laying within their parents' tunnels. And from these they seek out and devour radioactive minerals as well as power cells and energy-emitting technology carried by invading species. They're only a fraction of the size of a fully grown ambull. A single boreworm is still almost as big and much heavier than a human. Their serrated mouth pincers can burrow through the torso of an armoured soldier. Lovely. Okay, so the quest. So this is telling us how we start it. It gives information on the discovery deck. The expansion uses a new discovery deck for expeditions as part of the quest for the Ambull's Lair. Discovery cards for this quest are divided into two types. The Archaeotech cards, the Amber Spool cards. Archaeotech cards award trading points, and the Amber Spool are one of the requirements allowing the explorers to enter the lair of the beast. Ambull Spore is also a valuable commodity and can instead be used to award trading points in the same manner as Archaeotech. Okay, the Ambull's Lair. After picking explorers at the start of an expedition, if the databank contains one or more Ambull trail counters and 3 or more Ambull spore counters, those explorers can enter the lair of the beast in the same manner as attacking a stronghold in the quest for the hidden vault. Instead of setting up an expedition as normal, the players take the lair of the beast sheet and set up the expedition using the rules for the access route, reaching the stronghold event table, and stronghold rules, and conquering the stronghold from page 12 of the Precipice book. But replace all references to stronghold with lair of the beast. So if you fail, blah 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 blah. Right, okay. The quest for the Ambull's Lair ends in failure and fewer than 4 if fewer than 4 explorers are available at the start of an expedition, or the explorers end the lair of the beast with 2 or fewer Ambull eggs. If either of these things happen, the players have failed the quest and the Ambull moves to another area of the Blackstone Fortress. The explorers will have to restart this quest or choose another quest. One-off expeditions. If you choose to play off a one-off expedition using the contents of the expansion, add the encounter cards for the Ambull and the Boreworm infestations to the Blackstone Fortress encounter deck, used for one-off games. You can also add the exploration cards from this expansion, but do not use any which are marked with a symbol. That's too small for you to see, but it's basically this Ambull symbol, this purple Ambull symbol. That's basically what it is. You can find out more instruction, blah 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 blah. Okay, setting up an expedition for the quest in the Ambull's Lair. This is all just general setup stuff, so we don't need to go through any of that. We've got tunnel entrance hexes, which look like that. They've got tunnel boards. So a tunnel board, right. So he, or she, the Ambull, in fact, it's definitely going to be a female because she's got little babies. So she's capable of tunnelling. So you can see in some of the setup that as well as your standard board, there's also a tunnel board which is kept separately, which is from different movement for the Ambull. So the Ambull can effectively burrow down and travel to another location. The Ambull and Boarworms. The Ambull and its offspring are a rogue element within the Blackstone Fortress, hunting and being hunted by its many denizens. The following rules apply at all times. Blah blah blah. The Ambull and Boarworm infestations treat all other hostiles other than the Boarworm infestations or Ambulls as explorers. So they will target all of the NPCs and that kind of stuff as well. Hostiles other than Boarworm infestations treat the Ambull as an explorer. So yeah, so he's effectively a neutral, but a neutral that will lash out at anything. So that's good. If your Dreaded Ambull encounter card is one of the encounter cards revealed when a combat card is drawn from the exploration deck, use the Ambull hostile card shown above for the Ambull itself. When using the Ambull in the lair of the beast, use the Ambull enraged hostile card shown above. Right, okay. So that's the only reason to use the enraged Ambull. So let's have a look. We'll have a look at the difference between those cards at the end. Okay, Precipice. Okay, so obviously set 7 is in Precipice. When explorers return to Precipice during the quest for the Ambull's lair, additional rules apply. Don't carry out the legacy step. At the start of the trading step, in leader order, explorers may trade any Ambull Spore discovery cards they are carrying, and add these, and any Ambull trail counters they have. Any traded Ambull Spore discovery cards are added back to the discovery deck. Right. All of the discovery cards in this expansion list a trading point value at the bottom, in the same manner as Architect cards, and may be used to purchase resource cards in the same way during the trading step. Any discovery cards used in this way are added back to the discovery deck. Okay, that's the card. That's a additional Architect card. The Xenologist report card can be kept for as long as the explorer holding it wishes in order to use its ability, or converted into trading points during the trading step. Okay, after the quest. The quest for the Ambull's lair is just the beginning. The spawn of this terrible beast are at large, and it won't be long before you encounter more of these creatures in your journeys through the Blackstone Fortress. All of the cards in the Dreaded Ambull's expansion are marked with a symbol allowing them to be added and removed from your existing Blackstone Fortress card decks with ease, enabling full customization of your Blackstone Fortress adventures. The miniatures and encounter cards. You can add the miniatures from this expansion to the Blackstone Fortress game for other quests you may embark on in the future. To do so, setting up an expedition for that quest or during one-off games, simply add the Dreaded Ambull encounter cards to your encounter deck. This means there is a chance that the Ambull and Boarworm infestations will appear while playing through other quests. Discovery deck. The discovery card deck for the quest and Ambull's lair should not be mixed with the discovery cards from the quest for the Hidden Vault for playing one-off games or for future quests. These cards are marked with the purple Ambull symbol, so they can be easily identified. The exploration cards for this expansion are marked with a black Ambull symbol and can be added to your existing exploration deck. Two of the cards are marked with a purple Ambull symbol and should not be included. Okay, so basically if it's got a black Ambull, you can mix it in. If it's got a purple one, you can't. Okay, the Beasts Within. Amidst the aeons-old detritus and roving hostiles encountered within Blackstone Fortress, there are telltale signs of a newly emerging threat. Monstrous roars echo in the darkness, and enormous rents in the chamber walls hint at a power and ferocity of some as yet unseen entity. Rumours begin to circulate among the denizens of Precipice, terrifying some and intriguing others. So this is just another load of lore about the discovery of the Ambull. So, rogue trader Janice Drake, warrants of trade. After lively negotiations with the more established inhabitants of Precipice, I have obtained more information regarding the recent anomalies. In short, the fears that an ambull is loose within the Blackstone Fortress have gained a troubling degree of credulity. A search of my manuscript bank has produced several texts on ambulls which I shall review before proceeding further. In the spirit of imperial diligence, I have also checked the materials that I have at hand for mention of the Grey Duchess. She appears only once mentioned in passing histories of Indigia. The reference is several centuries old, suggesting one of two conclusions. Either her name is a moniker that has been used by more than one individual, or the resilience of the Grey Duchess surpassed that for which she has been given credit. So the Grey Duchess was a smuggler. So that's good, that is quite interesting. Again, more of this lore and that kind of thing, which is good. Set 7 outbound transmission. I trust this transmission finds you in good health. With the Omnisia's blessing, construction of my biocontainment facility is progressing well. I have conveyed my interest in ambull specimens to several of the more intrepid explorers aboard your station. But should such samples somehow come into your possession, please see that they find their way to me. Failure to cooperate in this matter would be most regrettable. So this is again more lore for the game. So we start with the Grey Duchess, who at some point is found with lots of scars and that kind of thing. This is way in the past, which gives an inkling that she has been transporting something dangerous, and that find, along with various things that happen over a short period of time, lead some of the inhabitants of Precipice to believe that there may be an ambull in the Blackstone Fortress. That becomes more and more fleshed out and found out until pretty much certain, and then we start to discover kind of the mission at hand, the task at hand, which is to find these eggs and sell them on to Gander Set. So that's interesting. Right, here we go. Set 7 biocontainment facility. Spawned from the deranged mind of Genitor or Genitor Sandar Set, the Set 7 biocontainment facility is a ramshackle structure. Even when compared to Precipice, its main body is formed from the battered hull of the Ohm Delta shuttle set used to reach the Blackstone Fortress, and has been heavily modified with pieces of ancient craft scavenged from amongst the floating debris field. The interior of the vessel has been gutted to make way for quantum stasis arrays and xenogenetic extraction machinery, much of which has been built by Set using salvaged archaeotech and exotic energy supplies. But in order to put this facility to use, the xenobiologist needs living samples. While finishing work on the construction, it has been made known that he will reward the explorers who bring him ambull specimens by sharing with them the biological wonders he is able to unlock. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a quick look at the layer of the beast. So it gives us a map setup, which is good. It gives us what needs to be fulfilled to get there. It gives us the hostile group for this scenario, which is the ambull, the boreworm infestations, spindle drones, 4 spindle drones, and 2 ghouls. The layer of the beast, then it's got some specific rules for that as well, which is interesting. And again, it's about securing ambull eggs, which is good. Elimination protocols. Spindle drone hostiles are always treated as being on threat level 3 in layer of the beast. Use the ambull enraged hostile reference card for the ambull in layer of the beast. So that's good. But don't forget, you've got spindle drones and the ghouls in there, but they are also treated as hostiles by the ambull and his offspring, her offspring, sorry. So that's good. There's an event table on here as well. So a roll of 1 is all is dust. Each explorer loses 1 inspiration point to a minimum of 0. 2 to 3 is unfulfilled destiny. Do not make a destiny roll at the start of the next turn. God, That's a tough one. No destiny roll, it'd be a nightmare. 4 to 6 surprise attack. The leader must pick an unrevealed discovery marker and reveal it. If this is not possible, the leader must instead pick one hostile that has been slain during combat and has not returned to the battlefield, then deploy them as close to an explorer as possible. It's quite harsh. Okay, 7 to 10, squirming lava. Each explorer must roll an activation dice for each ambull egg encounter they are carrying. On a 1, they drop the egg. 11 to 14, newborn. Place a bullworm infestation model in the egg cluster hex that is closest to an explorer. If this is not possible, nothing happens. 15 to 17, inspiration. The leader picks an explorer. The explorer gains 1 inspiration point. 18 to 19, heroic effect. The leader picks an explorer that is out of action. Deploy that explorer in the same hex as another explorer or as close to another explorer as possible. Then make a vitality roll for them. If no explorers are out of action, the leader picks an explorer and make a vitality roll for that explorer. The number 20 is lucky find. The leader picks an explorer. That explorer draws a discovery card. Nice. Okay. Then there's something here about conquering the lair of the beast. The lair of the beast ends when all explorers who have not been taken out of action are in a maglev escape chamber at the start of the event phase. There are no hostiles in the maglev, and there are no hostiles in the maglev escape chamber. If at least 3 ambull egg counters are being carried by the explorers in the maglev exchange chamber, the explorers have conquered the lair of the beast. If the explorers in the maglev chamber are carrying 2 or fewer ambull eggs, the quest is a failure. And the rewards are that you get to open this. So I think this has got 1 card in it. I'm pretty sure I know what's in it because it is the same as what you get for a for winning the hidden vault. So what I will do is the very end of the video, I'll tell you what I think it is. So let's have a quick look at the stats for our ambull. So the weapon is enormous mandibles and claws. That's the same for the standard as it is for unranged. The standard has got 16 wounds, size huge, and can move up to 3. The enraged is movement still 3, size is still huge, but 24 wounds. So the weapon, enormous mandibles and claws. Let's look at their behaviour tables. Let me just quickly see if there's any different. Yeah, there are some difference. Okay, so it's quite a lot here. The main differences from what we've seen before is obviously it's got hold, advance, charge, onslaught, fallback, all the typical stuff. But it's got a few other ones which are rolls on 18 to 20, and those abilities are for tunneling and swiping. Okay, so boreworm infestations, special rules are numerous reroll enforcement rolls if boreworm infestation reinforcements fail to arrive, and hard to hit. If a boreworm infestation is in cover from explorer, it is treated as not being visible to the explorer. Okay, so it's not that it just is in cover, it's unhittable. Okay, and then it's got an action called swarming. When a boreworm infestation attacks, make 3 attack rolls. Carry out each attack 1 at a time, one after the other. The target chosen for the second and third attacks must be either the same target as the previous attack or in the same hex as the target of the previous attack. So that's interesting as well. 3 attack rolls. It's harsh. Okay, so these guys tunnel as well. So they've got all the other standard behaviour actions, but they've got tunnel, which we already know about, and they've got one called consume. Okay, cool. So that's that. So we've done that. We know what all the different tokens are. Let's have a look at the encounter cards. So we have got one that is the ambull, 1 boreworm, 1 boreworm, and toxic atmosphere. Got another one which is Ambull, Bullworm, and Unstable Footing. Each time a move action is taken during Explorer's activation, the activation dice score required for that action increases by 1 until the end of that activation. And then the last one is Ambull, Bullworm, and then Nesting Bullworms. Each time Explorer takes a search action during this combat, roll an activation dice for the Explorer. On a 1, the Explorer suffers a wound. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Let's have a look at our combat cards. Okay, so we've got quite a long corridor there. We've got a tunnel board. Here's a challenge 1, specimen for study. The explorers come across a swarm of rad maggots following along the wall of a corridor through a crack in the wall. One of the explorers is carrying the specimen stasis tube. The explorer can search the discovery deck for the xenologist report card and take it, so long as it has not already been taken by another explorer. Then shuffle the discovery deck and place it face down in the precipice board. Okay, the next one is called Ambush. So there's 3 locations, and we've got some 3 hexes here with an A on it, which I'm assuming is for Ambull, or at least these Ambull Spore tokens. Then we've got another challenge. In leader order, roll 2 activation dice for each explorer. If the result of either is a 6, the explorer draws a discovery card. Okay, next one is another combat one. Looks pretty straightforward. Next one's a challenge. Make an agility roll for each explorer in leader order. If the roll is a failure, make a defense roll for the explorer as the floor collapses into an ambull tunnel right under their feet. If the defense roll is a failure, the explorer suffers 1 wound. We've got another combat one. Oh, a challenge, run. So it's got like a big, long, it's almost like a running track. With the maglev chamber in sight, a crashing sound reveals the ambull emerging into the corridor behind the group. So there's a number 1 there, so I'm assuming the ambull goes there. Right, okay, resolve this challenge in the same way as combat with the following exceptions. The explorers start in the hexes marked E, which is 3 there. Instead of drawing an encounter card for the discovery marker 1, set the ambull in the hex with that marker. The rules for reinforcements aren't used. So that's a straight fight between the explorers and the ambull. And then another combat one. So they're all pretty good. Is it too late to warn you about spoilers? Archaeotech, 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 Archae, Specimen Stasis Tube, Xenologist Report, Ambull Spore, Ambull Spore, Spore. Cool. Brilliant. So that is everything. So, thank you very much for watching. And the last seconds of the video will be what I think is in here. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thank you very, very much again to my subscriber who donated this expansion. It's greatly appreciated. I'm blown away by it. Honestly, I can't believe it. But thank you so much. If you want to donate to the channel, or you want to help the channel in any way, you can drop me an email at mike@foible.co.uk, Foyble, or if you want to make a donation, you'll find a link in the description to this video. Every penny that's donated will go back into the channel. And if you want to donate enough for me to buy a specific thing, please do so as well. And just let me know what you want me to do with it. So I think in here we've got cards, or maybe even just one card. It feels like there might be a couple in there that are either going to boost our stats or it's going to be some sort of upgrade. Because that's what we got. Spoilers at the end of the hidden vault in the main one. But do you know what? That feels like it's got a good couple of cards in there. There might be 2 or 3 in there. Feeling the thickness. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. I'll see you very soon. I've got some unboxings for Kill Team coming up. I've got the 2 new ones, and I know it's been out for quite a while now, but I've also got the Kill Team Commanders expansion, and I've got A Commanders to show you what goes in there as well. So thanks very much, guys. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow for Warhammer Conquest issue number 26. See you later.